If you're seeing this video, chances are you've already seen my top 10 designer spring scents. And if you haven't, you should pause this video and go check that one out first. But nevertheless, if you have already seen the other one, go ahead and stick around because these are the top 10 fragrances I will be wearing this spring from the niche realm. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name's Joshua, and this is our channel, ScentSense. To all the fragrant faithful out there, I thank y'all so much for continually stopping by. And to all you people who are maybe checking out the channel for the very first time and you're window shopping and you haven't made up your mind, this isn't Vegas. You're not looking at the Fendi, the Prada, the Gucci store, the Louis Vuitton store. You can actually afford to watch this because it's free. Today I'll be talking about 10 fragrances that I will be wearing this spring from the niche world. If you're interested in keeping up with me and actually seeing that I'm actually wearing these fragrances instead of just talking to you about them and picking 10 random fragrances off my shelf, why don't you go ahead and follow me on Instagram. The name is ScentSense with a stupid underscore at the end because some guy who has like 3 followers and never uses his account has my name already. Enough rambling, let's dive right into the list. Starting off the list at number 10 is a fragrance from the House of Creed. No, it's not gonna be cliche, and no, this is not Green Irish Tweed. Nothing against that great fragrance, I also own it, but this is a fragrance that I just recently re-added back to the collection because I just love that sharp, inky note, and I just felt like it was missing. And also, I've been wanting to have one of these small, cute, teeny weeny bottles, and I got my hands on one. Coming in at number 10 from the House of Creed is Silver Mountain Water. I mean, look at this bottle. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so do. Does that smell good? Just smell good? Do you do? You do. You do. Silver Mountain Water is a super sharp, fresh fragrance. At first, in my opinion, when I smell it, it jumps right into your face and it rips at your nose hair. This is like the strength of the mountain, if Jeremy Fragrance would call it, something like that. Kind of like, you know, the other one where he says it's the strength of the ocean, which I think it kind of smells like toilet bowl cleaner. But nevertheless, back to this one. This is one of the more popular offerings from the fragrance line of Creed. This is easily a super easy to wear, fresh, very polarizing fragrance. And when I say polarizing, I don't mean like polar ice caps polarizing because it's supposed to have a cold presence to the fragrance. This one tends to be quite, not off-putting, but shocking when people first smell it. It's very original, it's very different, and a lot of fragrances try to duplicate this fragrance, but in my opinion, none of them come really close. At number 10 from the House of Creed, we have Silver Mountain Water. At number 9 is a fragrance that I don't know for sure could be classified as niche, but I've never seen anything else from this fragrance brand except for fragrances, and they are just revitalizing the brand, so they're starting to put out more stuff, and they're bringing it back thanks to the kind folks at Euro Perfumes. The fragrance we're talking about from the House of Commodity at number 9 is Bergamot. This is a quite linear fragrance and very self-explanatory. Think very fresh and sparkling bergamot. This smells like something you would smell if you went to Vegas and you stayed at maybe like the Venetian or the Aria or the Bellagio. This is what it would smell like in the air. Or this is what it would smell like in the soaps that they give you in the hotel. This is gonna be something I wear on a warmer, sunnier spring day. This is something that I'm gonna wear when I wear a short sleeve button down and some shorts and maybe some flip flops. Love this stuff. Coming in at number 9 from the House of Commodity, Bergamot. At number 8 is a fragrance that will be seen in one of my upcoming videos. This one right here is one of the best, most fresh, most well-blended, well-done, sophisticated Vetivers I've ever smelled in my life. From the House of ROJA, Vetiver Parfum Cologne. So this is ROJA Dove's take on a previously released fragrance that they had in the house and the line. This was given its new formulation of Parfum Cologne, which it's supposed to have the strength of a parfum fragrance, but the freshness and the effervescentness of a cologne. This is something that will definitely work for you if you like gentlemanly, strong Vetivers. Vetivers with nuts. This is gonna be something I wear to church. This is something I'm gonna wear when I'm in a position where I have to seem a little more mature than I actually am. This is gonna be when I wanna paint a facade of who I wish to be. This is the moment when somebody watching this video is like, well, maybe if you didn't have your hat on backwards, you wouldn't be such a hooligan. Nevertheless, this is going to be the one I reach for when I have an envie, as we say in Cajun country, for Vetiver. From the house of ROJA Dove, Vetiver Parfum Cologne. At number 7 is a fragrance that I put quite a dent in it, not just because I wear it, but because my wife, who can't keep her sticky fingers off of my fragrances, tends to love also. Now that goes without saying because this fragrance tends to lean very, very unisex. This is something a man or a woman can pull off. If you were stuck in a place where you and your significant other, who's a female or male, and only had one fragrance that both of you would wear and be able to both pull off, easily you could reach for this one. From the house of Tom Ford, Soleil de Positano. Think neroli, think very floral, think very clean, think very fresh, think just upscale clean. This is like freshly clean laundry or towels from a very, very regal, elegant five-star resort. This is something that I reach for when I just want to smell clean. And I wore this a lot in Vegas. I actually wore just Tom Ford fragrances for the entire trip. And I have to say, it worked out really well. And it was only private blends. And this one right here, I wore a little bit more than the others. And my wife did it as well. From the house of Tom Ford, the fragrance is Soleil de Positano. At number 6 is a fragrance that I picked up as a tester bottle. And you may want to ask, why does the cap not match the bottle? Well, that's because it's a Scent of Peace cap. And I went through multiple bottles of Scent of Peace. And I don't want you to judge me, and if you do, oh well, you're a dick. From the house of Bond number 9, the fragrance is Bleecker Street. I don't know, man, I feel like the cap kind of goes with it. I mean, it's not the right cap, but kind of works. This is a berry-infused, super awesome fragrance. It's ultra unique. There's not anything quite like it. This is what I wear when I want to stand out in the springtime. This is something that I wear when I'm around people who actually know what Bond number 9 is, because from around here, people only know about Bond number 9 and Creed when it comes to the niche line of fragrances. They also know about the Tom Ford private blends, but it's really just those three. People don't really delve into fragrance much where I'm from, so this just comes off to them as super regal, when in all actuality, you know, Bleecker Street is not the most regal of fragrances, neither are any of the Bonds. And just to show you, it says right there, tester, not for sale. So yes, I am not that bougie. I do have testers, guys. You know why? Cause it's the same crap. They don't change the juice. They don't even change the bottle. They just put a sticker on the bottle. It's okay. At number 6 from the house of Bond number 9, Bleecker Street. At number 5 is a fragrance from a house that is not talked about nearly enough. It's a fragrance house that you can get fragrances from Euro Perfumes. They have a wide array of fragrances from this line. The brand name is Carner Barcelona, and it is my favorite note of all time, In Reality, Fignon by Carner Barcelona. When I say in reality, I mean that this is super ultra realistic fig. This smells like juicy fig being pulled from a freshly dewed tree in the morning. Like it's fresh in the morning, the sun has come up, it's like 60 degrees, the water droplets are falling off that fig and you pull it down, and the breaking of the stem releases natural oils and fragrance into the air, and that's what you're gonna smell. You're gonna smell the tree, the fig, breaking open of a fig. This right here is just super ultra realistic and super clean. So if you're looking for a fig-based fragrance and you want something that's really, really unique, but also ultra realistic, you should reach for this one from Carner Barcelona. Oh yeah, there you go. From Carner Barcelona, Figman. At number 4 is a fragrance from a small independent brand that is on the rise. Before I tell you what it is, I want to tell you about the fragrance, and then you can draw your own conclusions and probably be petty like everybody else. But let me talk about the fragrance first. From the house of Centauri Perfumes, Gaia. Gaia, the word Gaia, the god Gaia, is synonymous with earth. And earthy fragrances, in my opinion, is synonymous with clean, green and earthy fragrances that you will wear in the months of spring. Or I will, for that matter. This is another fragrance that is super realistic. It smells dirty at some aspects. It smells super green in some aspects. And it also has other notes in it that bring a whole new world to what I would expect from a green fragrance. When we talk about this fragrance, this is something that you're gonna reach for if you're a fan of niche and indie perfumes. If you're not a fan of that and you just want basic B fragrances and you want super clean and easy to wear, steer clear. If you're looking for something that's going to actually make you feel like, wow, this is unique, I'm interested, super easy to grab. One thing I do like about this fragrance has nothing to do with the juice. It has everything to do with the bottle. You have this milky white color. It's got the plaque on the front and this heavy cap that's super detailed, has the company logo on the top. I mean, everything about this guy is super well put together. This fragrance was made by Peter from the channel The Fragrance View. He actually made the fragrance himself. He didn't get a backer. He didn't get another company to make fragrances and kind of put his name on it. He did nothing of the sort. This is 100% him. From the sticker to the bottle to the cap to the name to the fragrance to the notes. He actually blended them himself. He didn't have a perfumer do it for him. He is the entirety of this brand. So for that, kudos, sir. Coming in at number 4, a never-ending, ever-changing journey through a forest. The fragrance is Centauri Perfumes Gaia. At number 3 is a fragrance from a brand that you can also pick up at Euro Perfumes. The fragrance is called You or Someone Like You from Libre Yours. Now I know what you're thinking. Josh, why do you keep on bringing up Euro Perfumes? If you're thinking it's because this video is sponsored, you're wrong. It's because I really like their website. I really like the presentation of their website. And I like the fact that it feels like a one-stop shop for fragrance brands. They also supply many brick and mortars, stores that I shop from online and also have met and gone into in person. So for me, I really like supporting them because they support fragrance people, companies, brick and mortars, and they also have a great supply of fragrances from the niche and indie realm. So back to the fragrance. This one right here is, I'm sure if you're a fan of this channel and watch it quite some time, is one that I love reaching for. I've had to put it on the shelf for quite some time, so I'm so glad to grab it out. This is a mint mojito, fresh, unique, something you will never ever smell before. You've never ever smelled before and you'll never smell again unless somebody makes a clone of it. This is a guy who works so well because it is a fresh fragrance, but it projects so strongly. Never did I ever think I would see or smell a fragrance that is beast mode, but is also fresh. This one's ultra unique, just like the bottle and the label, just like the brand. At number 3 from the house of Libre Yours, or as others call it, Eldo, You or Someone Like You. Following the trend I stated before, another fragrance from the house of Euro Perfumes. This is a fragrance that I tell you right now is super unique, super clean. It takes fig and watermelon and blends them together perfectly and makes a super juicy fragrance. It is the best fragrance brand of the last 2 years to be released, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it is the best niche fragrance brand on the market right now. It's unique. They're well performing. They're ultra price affordable, for my opinion, for what they are. And there's nothing else that looks anything like them on the market. From the house of Juice Box, the fragrance is Feel and Chill. If you've been living under a rock and haven't been watching my videos, Juice Box is a fragrance that blends music and fragrance notes together. Each fragrance is inspired by some genre or type or time of music, or maybe even an artist themselves. Feel and Chill is more leaning towards the times of bands like 311 and Sublime and just chilling, man. As you can see, there's a lot of attention to detail when it comes to the bottle, and the same is true with the fragrance. This is just like the fragrance I mentioned before, a beast mode performing fresh fragrance, which makes no sense. And if you don't believe me, you should at least go pick up a sample for yourself. But if you do believe me and you want something ultra unique and you want to smell different and you don't want to smell like everyone else rocking every creed imaginable, reach for Juice Box Feel and Chill. At number 1 is a fragrance from a very small brick and mortar store up there in the Northeast. This is a fragrance that will remind you of walking through a fresh floral garden or flower patch. This is meant to be evoking of an actual garden. This fragrance was built and thought and brought into existence by none other than Guy from the fragrance house and store Perfumology. So, Without further ado, at number 1 from the house of perfumology, Laima. Laima means for mother. I think this fragrance was created by Nir because of his passion for his mother and his grandmother, and those times when he was younger and he would walk through these gardens and he would smell the fresh fruit and the fresh flowers and the fresh vegetables. This was something that kind of brought him to that aspect. If you ever smelled any of the Un Jardin line from Hermes, such as Mediterranee, Sur le Toit, I can't remember the other ones that are really popular, La Lugini, or however the frick you say the newest one. This is something that would work perfectly in that line, but this has its own legs and it's got its own brand. Laima is just one of the many fragrances from the house that are spectacular, such as Grange and such as Clutch. This one right here, though, in my opinion, is a perfect springtime fragrance. If you're interested in this fragrance and you don't want to travel all the way to Philadelphia to buy one in person, you can go ahead and get it online at perfumology.com. They also didn't sponsor this video, but I tell you right now, it's worth grabbing and it's worth making a difference and it's worth buying something that's ultra unique and puts money in the hands of people who are actually passionate about their craft and aren't just making you mass-produced garbage. At number 1, again, from the house of perfumology, Laima. All right, everyone, that about does it for me. Those are 10 fragrances that are from the niche and indie realm that I will be wearing this spring. As I stated before, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's ScentSense_, and you can go ahead and see if I'm really telling you the truth. But before you jump over to Instagram and easily sign up to follow me, why don't you go ahead and click that red subscription button right below and let me know that you guys enjoyed the video and you want to join the crew. And if you do, or if you're already subscribed and you haven't, go ahead and click the bell. That way it'll notify you when my videos come out. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. What are fragrances that you'll be wearing this spring from the niche realm and designer realm? And let me know if there's any fragrances from my list that you feel should be cut and what fragrances you feel should have made the cut. All right, that about does it for me. Again, I thank you so much for stopping by, and I love each and every one of you. And as always, and most importantly, I'll smell each and every one of you later. Peace.